So Grohl was interviewed and he was asked about Lemmy visiting Lemmy's apartment. And if you've seen the Lemmy documentary, they show his apartment, and it's like a tiny ass apartment with every inch of it covered in memorabilia. There's like no room, and like the one bedroom is wall to wall Nazi memorabilia and a comfortable level of Nazi memorabilia.
What's the comfortable level, Rob? Could you just remind us what level of Nazi memorabilia you personally are comfortable with?
Like one or two pieces.
I mean, I could see what he's saying. Like, I would overlook it if it was like a lamp, you know.
Nazi lamp.
Yeah.
Is there a joke about what those are made of?
That's not what I'm saying. Like, if there was something that, like, oh, this is from a war, like, or it could be something like, hey, my grandfather fought in World War II, and he took this he killed the Nazi, and he took his gun. This is his Nazi gun. That's an acceptable form of Nazi memorabilia to have. Go ahead.
My grandfather was in the war. He was in the guard tower. He took out like 14 of them Jews.
Oh, no.
Trying to escape.
Lemmy didn't sound that articulate on his best day.
All right, it's not.
I think maybe our next Patreon should be a watch along of that Lemmy documentary.
Yeah,
because I haven't watched it since it originally came out, which now is like 15 years ago or whatever. And I remember loving it, and then that scene, it was just like,
I mean,
and then they got back into it.
It is memorabilia. I mean, they always say like never forget, right? So he's just trying to like remember.
He just had a really bad memory.
Yeah,
right. Exactly. With all the alcohol he drinks, he's damaged so much of his brain cells. He has to look at it every day to remember.
Reminders all
and
around.
The mole, like a lot of his memory cells got taken up to form that mole in his DNA. So.
I was gonna say, I'd be down to watching that as a Patreon, but only if I'm allowed to eat Cocoa Puffs.
we should all buy some.
That's like the last thing I want to eat when I'm looking at a human Cocoa Puff. It's like I'm eating Lemmy's face.
Can we tape some to our face?
Do they still exist?
Yeah, Cocoa Puffs. Yeah.
I can't find Cocoa Puffs.
Really? Well, maybe because there's shortages because of the global viral plague that we're experiencing.
Maybe they died with Lemmy.
Okay, you can order some on Walmart. Use promo code Livecast.
And get nothing.
There's for nothing.
We're endorsing every horrible thing that exists today. The chastity belts that get hacked, and Nazi memorabilia, and Cocoa Puffs from the worst company in the world.
And as I read this interview clip with Dave Grohl, I want to say that this segment is sponsored by Lockheed Martin. Use promo code Livecast for your next WMD purchase. All right, so
thank you, Lockheed Martin.
And I have to say, like, I use Lockheed Martin. You know, I didn't think I would like it, and then I had a problem with a third world country, and Lockheed Martin was very reliable.
If I could chime in here, all the Tomahawk missiles come prepared. Like, you don't have to do any stupid grocery shopping or anything.
If you don't like it, you could send it back. 30-day full refund.
It's great. It's great. Can't recommend it enough.
Lockheed Martin.
All right. Back to
promo code WideNut.
All right. So according to this interview, well, when Grohl showed up, so this apartment is also like 2 blocks away from the Rainbow. That's why he got it, was because it was so close to the Rainbow, which is a bar on the Sunset Strip, an infamous bar on the Sunset Strip, which it's nothing like, it's kind of a dive. It's like, it has a charm to it, but it's a bit divey, you know, in its own way. And so he didn't want to have to put himself in a situation where he'd have to drive home drunk. So he got an apartment within walking distance. And this was like a studio apartment. And Grohl visited, and he said the place was a magazine graveyard, and Lemmy was only wearing a black bikini underwear the entire time, which is nice.
Oh, my God.
He says, I was shocked at how fucking disgusting it was. These aisles of magazines and VHS tapes stacked 3-4 feet high. Lemmy sitting on the couch in his black bikini underwear with a spider web on them after just dyeing his hair black, doing a phone interview with a video game.
Wait, hold on.
He was at Lemmy's house, not Danzig's house.
Was this underwear with like a spider web logo on them or like an actual cobweb that fell on his crotch and he left it there? What does he mean?
I think he means that there's a spider web. That's a good question. Maybe like is the design on the bikini,
Rob,
or
you
there's
and Dave are good friends. Text him.
No, please follow up on that.
He says Lemmy offered him some Jack Daniels. It was 11:15 in the morning.
Are you sure that this wasn't a cry for help? Are you sure this is like a testimony and not a cry for help from Dave Grohl?
Well, Lemmy's dead now. So
he's dead. Yeah, he has. He shouldn't fear Lemmy. Yeah.